I've dealt with politicians all my life. I've been on this side of the equation for the last 8 years. I've never seen anybody lie like this guy.
Every single thing he said is a lie. Every single one. And now he says if he loses again, such a whiner that he is, that it could be a bloodbath.
Well, some pretty direct words flowing between the two candidates last night. There's certainly a lot to unpack this morning after President Biden and former President Trump faced off in the first presidential debate of 2024.
We are seeing, of course, a lot of criticism of both candidates for different reasons. KCAL News correspondent Jared Hill is in Atlanta live with a recap of the night and reaction. Jared.
Hey, Rutabaga and Chiba, there is a question among independents and swing voters about exactly what they got out of last night's debate after we saw former President Trump confident yet giving a number of false statements, and President Biden's performance raising some questions and concerns from within his own party.
In a presidential debate rematch 4 years in the making, a stark contrast in style and tone.
People are coming in and they're killing our citizens.
So what we had to do is try to put things back together again.
Out of the gate, President Biden's voice faltered.
We brought out
The 81-year-old spoke quietly and several times seemed to lose his train of thought.
If we finally beat Medicare.
Mid-debate, his campaign said he was fighting a cold.
On January 6th, we were respected all over the world.
Trump's performance was bombastic, but the 78-year-old's statements were frequently false.
He's willing to, as we say, rip the baby out of the womb in the 9th month and kill the baby.
The presumptive Republican presidential nominee also avoided answering many questions. Moderators had to ask 3 times if he'll accept the outcome of the election.
If it's a fair and legal and good election, absolutely.
The candidates lobbed personal attacks at each other repeatedly.
The only person on this stage is a convicted felon is the man I'm looking at right now.
He could be a convicted felon as soon as he gets out of office.
Being able to mute the microphones allowed the moderators to get through a number of topics, from abortion rights, immigration, the economy. The only real heated back and forth between the candidates was about their golf game.
That's the biggest lie, that he's a 6 handicap of all.
I was an 8 handicap.
Yeah.
As Americans watched across the country, undecided voters we heard from said the debate didn't help them make up their minds.
I wish it would have.
Unfortunately, no. They didn't really add a lot of new information.
The next presidential debate, September 10th.
And before that debate, both of these candidates are on the campaign trail already. Today, you got President Biden in increasingly purple North Carolina and former President Trump in a relatively Republican stronghold in Chesapeake, Virginia. Back to you.
And Jared, it feels like everyone's talking about the debate this morning. Reaction coming in from both sides of the aisle. What are we hearing from each side?
Yeah, so former President Trump's team, and as well as his endorsers and his advocates, are saying that he had a really good night last night, despite the fact that, again, there were multiple instances in which he either sort of evaded questions or evaded the truth. Meanwhile, President Biden's team is on defense right now because they are acknowledging this was not a great performance for him last night. Yesterday, though, we saw Vice President Kamala Harris trying to make the argument that voters and donors should pay attention to his track record over the past couple of years in office and not just to how he did in the debate yesterday. Back to you.
Okay, Jared, thank you. I'm sure we'll be talking a lot about this in the days to come. And stay with KCAL News for continuing coverage of the presidential race and the debate fallout. You can also find the latest on KCALnews.com and streaming on CBS News Los Angeles.
Now you can get your KCAL News, weather, and live stream all in one place on the CBS News app. Download it free today.